Well, it's another beautiful day in the neighborhood. So it's a good day, a sunny day, not so warm day to head for the lodge. See what trouble I can get into. Well, we're back at the lodge. Really nice sunny day. Now if it just warm up a little, I think it's 39 degrees right now. So let's go check on everything. I can see one good sign from here. I'll point it out when we get out there. Supposed to be in the 70 degrees this weekend, so I think we're only about a week and a half away from opening up the cabin, cleaning off the pavilion, and turning the water on. Well, I fertilized the grass. I think I can definitely mow it today and maybe spray some weed killer around the edges. The fence is still up. That's a good sign. Actually on both sides. What I noticed first is the water is down somewhat. It's not down to normal yet, but these blocks were just out of the water. Just coming out of the water, and we've had rain since I cleaned out the outlet, and it looks like the water's down about 2 inches, maybe 3 inches. So that's a good thing. Well, we still got some coon dew, so it didn't stop it completely. The mothballs, that is. I noticed you could smell the mothballs inside the lodge. It's not as soggy up here, but it is wet. Remember, this was filled with water last time we were here. Still hear it squish underneath my feet, but it's still an improvement. Start picking up a little bit. I think I'm gonna mow. Let it warm up before I do anything with the water. You can see, I mean, Not a grass isn't real thick and it's not real tall, but it is starting to grow. So if I can get on top of it this week, make it easier for the retiree next week. Yeah, I could definitely mow this. Take a look in the back. If we had smell-o-vision, you could smell the wild onions.
slowed the video down here because going behind the tree, I knocked the chute off, or the grass chute off. And just to remind you, boys and girls, after you do something, always look behind you to see what might be catching your leg and sending you down on your big assets.
Well, I needed to recharge the battery, so I finished what mowing I was going to do. I'm not going to do the backyard. I made a couple swipes. I need to make some weed and grass killer. And I use concentrate. We need to spray our gravel through here, get rid of the weeds. That's one of the problems with doing things before the water comes on. I gotta actually walk out to the lake and get some water. I did the side yard with my mower so that it wouldn't get jealous. Actually, to run it for a little bit. You can see the red bud is in full bloom now, and the red maple up there is just filled with seeds now. Talking about the water, that's a good sign that you can see the rocks, but even better, the buoy I used to hold up the water inlet. The only thing you could see last week was the very top with the hole through it. Now you can actually see part of the dome. And now I need to get some water here. See if I can do it without losing my camera. That is some nice, clean, clear water. You can see the, it's not very shallow through there, but you can still see every leaf and everything else through there. I finished mowing on the side. I've sprayed the weeds that are in the river rock on the edge of the lodge. I've sprayed the weeds around the yard barn and around the grill and around the wood pile. I sprayed around the outhouse, and I sprayed around the tree where the weeds are growing so bad in the parking lot. I did mow all this area here, and I took a couple swipes back towards the road to get right along the driveway. It was getting pretty thick, so I mowed that. Now I'm going to do some work on the water. I'll turn you on when I get there. We've had so much rain in the last 3 or 4 weeks that the ditch has had just an astounding amount of water that has forced rock from the road down through the ditch. You can really see it underneath this little bridge here. But I need to dig this out a little bit to get the water to run on down the ditch to dry this out, or try to dry this out. And then I'm going to do some work on the other side of the road where the water coming out of the woods is stopping up the pipe underneath the road. How convenient. I'm going to set you down in a crawdad hole, and you can watch me dig a little bit. Nice of the crawdad to do that for me. You can see I brought some limestone down a couple years ago from the quarry by our house, and it's done a pretty good job of holding that bank together. You can see it's already, the water's flowing out, but what I gotta do is wait for it to dry up a little bit, and it shows me the low spots, the high spots where I need to keep it flowing. This is one of the pain in the butt jobs. You can see there's plenty of fall. It just gets stopped up and the water wants to stop running. And all that does is produce stagnant pools that the mosquitoes love in the summer. So it'd be nice if we could get these dried out. We can get the deeper water out. Shallower water will eventually soak into the soil here. It's just been so wet, there's no chance of it doing it right now. I'm going to move it back now. Turn it back on when we get back out there. Back here on the back side of the private road. This is where the water comes out of the woods right here, flows into this ditch. Now this is starting to silt in. We've had such big rains down here in the last couple weeks. Last week I was back here with Dave, our neighbor, and this pipe was completely covered over. You can see there's some sticks back here already. What I want to do is get the riprap and rocks down to the level of the bottom of the pipe so I can lower this to get rid of the standing water here. And then we've got some flat concrete there I was going to put along the bottom so that we have a good solid bottom. And then I'll move the riprap to the sides. I've cleaned into the riprap out of the bottom there, set to the side. And I've got a big piece of concrete lined up underneath the pipe. And I've got a couple other small ones around the culvert. I'm not sure I like that or not, but we're going to try to go from there. Just trying to improve the water flow, and I'm going to try to lower this area so that I can eventually get that to drain down through here. Okay, I've got the flat concrete down there the way I want it. Now I just need to build up the sides over here, and then I'll start replacing the rock, and then get out here and dig this out a little bit. You can see I slipped in it, but I didn't land on my butt, so that was a good thing. Oh, Neighbor came down and brought me a body armor electrolyte. Thought I needed it. And I'm drinking the water right now. It's good the way the people look after these old guys. I'm sitting back here in the shade. I may just not leave. Well, but then how will I get it done? Especially when you're a little top heavy. Riffraff is down here to try to slow it down, the water, so these little pieces need to go somewhere else or they'll end up on the other side in the ditch. Before they place the rest of it, see if I can't dig this out a little bit and get a little bit of a stream going. Dry this out. That's some good hard clay. Well, I think that's it. I think we're going to leave it like that. Leave it like that and see how it does. The concrete's now just below the level of the pipe, so the water should roll on top of it. I've got some riffraff down there to try to slow the stream a little, but we're probably going to need another load of rock one of these days. Tried to build back up over the top of the rock so hold the road back in. We can probably going to need another load of rock on this road next year, according to Dave. And it looks better than what it did, and hopefully that rock, or that concrete helps improve the flow. We really need some rock back in there where it's starting to come out much more. I didn't get that to drain very well, but that area through there is hard clay. And I really don't feel like digging it up right now. I got one other job that I'll need to go over and check on the flow, how the overflow is doing. And I wanted to take the weed killer over there and spray around the end of it where I cleaned it out last week. Keep the weeds and the briars from coming back, hopefully. And then that's going to just about do it. You know, when I call myself a handyman, I usually mean for doing things electrical, plumbing, and carpentry. This manual labor stuff is not what I actually meant, but it seems to be a good part of what I have to do, especially in the spring, to try to get things back. So I'll leave this here and end this off here, and then probably pick back up over by the overflow. Well, we're back here at the overflow. You can see how much the water's gone down. It's stopped up a little going into the end there. So I'm going to try to get down there and clean that out with the hoe. And then I'm going to spray this bank with weed killer. See if I can't keep some of the weeds and stickers down so that we don't have to fight it to get in here. And then I already looked over the bank, and there's only about an inch of water going across that concrete. There should be with this being 4 inches high, there should be 4 inches of water going across there. I'm afraid that somehow it's still stopped up. What I want to do later when it gets warmer is take this pipe out and check the end of the metal pipe. I got the feeling it may be failing down at this end also. In the meantime, I'll set it up here and you can watch me fall in. Hopefully not. These vines will try to trip me up. That's best. Use my most important asset. Someone lost some of their fishing gear. lot of water flowing in there. It tells me the end that has a grate on it is probably stopped up also. What we might want to do is, if we leave this, is cut this off at an angle, flare it, and then put screening on top of it so that as it stops up down low, the water, as the water builds, it flows higher and higher and be easier to scrape off. It'd be nice to get a load of rock right around in here, and maybe even put some poles down. Cut this off, put some poles down, and then put fencing around there to keep the big stuff like these trees and stuff out of here. And then put a secondary with a little smaller screen to allow it to catch the small stuff. There's an opening below this block too, and as soon as I scrape, you see the water really starting to flow into it, but I think the block is covering up most of it. And that block is half broken from the freezing, I believe. I'm afraid of losing the block if I pull up on it too much. Losing the block or losing me into the water. Just like that. Okay, here we are in the bottom of the ditch. You can see there's pretty good flow. Once I cleaned out the end of that inlet, the water increased quite a bit. As we walk back, I'll tell you what my biggest problem with this is. That's a 20-inch pipe right there. And this is what used to be there. It used to be open. Used to be about 24 inches across. And as it filled up with water, it even became wider. So, unless it was blocked by debris, it had pretty good flow. It looks like there's maybe 3 or 4 inches coming through there now. I'm still going to take a pole and put it through there. My phone said even though I deleted a lot of photos, this phone said I was out of storage. So I'm down here at the bottom of this ditch, telling it to permanently delete them. That's what I noticed the other day. I got in and I was actually looking at the files. I deleted almost every picture I had. And then when I went into the files, they're still there. I guess Apple knows better than I do about what I want with my phone. Yep, programmers, I do not like them. I'm going to try to set you up so you can see what I do here. I got to turn you off for right now. Well, I found another crawdad hole to set you in. You can watch, see how I try to clean this out with that 21-foot trunk. Awfully nice of the crawdads to be thinking about me. As this thing dries out, it's starting to get a big bend to it. Right in there, I can feel an obstruction. See if we see anything come out. I see some small leaves and debris. Nothing huge. Oh. Something like rock and dirt. Dirt, mud, and leaves coming out now. When I took the pictures the other day, I was showing you the rust over here. This right side's even worse now that I look at it. I hadn't looked at it before, and that rust is really bad. Let me grab you and I will show you what I'm seeing down there. Let's see if we got a pretty good full of water. Still only an inch or two coming across the concrete, which is the base, which is the low spot, should be. So there should be 5 or 6 inches coming out of there, but it's not. All right, look at that rust. This pipe is not long for service. If I back up in there, I can see. I have to wait till I review it to see. Take you down here. This is where last week we cleared out the. There's another piece of rubber pipe underneath my foot. That's where we cleared out the water, or cleared out the debris last week. You can see it's still flowing pretty good. But it's still keeping it too high. There's a lot of water rolling through there now, though. Yes, I am breathing hard. Now, I'm going to turn you off and climb this hill. I don't want to mess with Had to make sure I don't drop this as I'm going up. I'll get my glove off so I turn this off. Okay, we're back on the private road. And here's what I want to talk about. That is a 20 or 21 inch pipe that is used for the overflow. Down there is the pipe that runs under the road on the ditch that is next to our property. That's a 20 inch pipe. So everything that flows in there, if it's filled, it has that overflow to flow out. The problem is, the first ditch that I've had to jump, the first ditch that you come to, you look down here, those are at least 20 inch pipes. There's 2 of them. So now we have at least 3 20 inch pipes that are bringing water into the lake, and 1 20 inch pipe that's trying to discharge it. That, my friends, is what's called a holding pond. The lake is going to hold the water until it can slowly let the water out. If you have a 100-year flood like what we had in 2008, it's not going to get rid of the water fast enough, and it's going to build up behind it. The old system of the concrete, it widens out as it goes up. So the higher the water gets, the greater the flow. And I'd say it's at least 24 inches across at the very bottom. So you go up a foot of water, and now you're at maybe 30 inches across, if not more. So that brings to mind what we need to do. What do we need to do? Do we try to just open it back up and go back to what was there? Or replace the pipe that's there with 2 pipes? My thought is, if we had room for, originally I thought 2 15-inch pipes. You're saying, well, there's a 20-inch pipe there now. 2 15-inch pipes, as the water gets up 15 inches, both pipes are in use, and that's equivalent to a 30-inch pipe. If you have 2 24-inch pipes in there, the water gets up 2 feet, you got a 48-inch pipe. So it's just something to think about. We can ask other people to get involved, but we're the lowest slot, and other than Mike's up there, and it'll be hard to get people thinking that they need to throw in with us to pay for something like that. So we need to be thinking in the future of what we're going to do. Now, okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to clean the dew off, raccoon dew, and I'm going to put a couple of mothballs actually on the pier instead of underneath the step. See if that helps. And then I'm going to pack everything up, take a little break, drink a Coke or a Pepsi, and then I'm going to head home in my heated seat. It's been a long day, a beautiful day. It's warming up now, but I think I'll be resting up tomorrow. Well, this has been another busy day. Got quite a bit done. Been a beautiful day. But it just finally warmed up. It says it's about 56 now. I'm going to enjoy the heated seat on the way home. If you like a video, you can hit the like button. Instead of having to wait for me to post the video out on Facebook or someplace, if you just go down and hit the subscribe button and then hit that to receive notifications, then I won't have to put links out for everything I do, and you can decide which ones you want to watch and which ones you don't. But for now, I'm worn out, I'm tired, and I'm headed home at a very slow pace and with the heat on high on my back. See you in the next one.